My name is Kate Thornburg. I'm the Director of Grant Writing and Project Coordination. So I had actually a very roundabout path to get here. I started off in Democratic politics. My first big girl job with a salary and a desk and everything was the Democratic National Convention here in Charlotte in 2012. That sort of kicked off, I found my people in that position, and I went to work the Obama campaign in Florida, then headed to DC. I did Democratic fundraising for 2.5 years. And then I ended up in the office of Congressman David Price for 2.5 years as his scheduler. And you have to be very detail oriented, and I got in a position in that job where I kind of maxed out my position. I wasn't on the legislative side, so it was that or chief of staff. So I ended up going to grad school, as many people in their mid-20s do, and they're not quite sure what they want to do next. I headed back down to Chapel Hill. I did their transatlantic master's program, and I got a master's in political science. So the first year of that program is on campus at Chapel Hill, and the second year is in Europe. So I actually spent a summer at the U.S. Embassy in Lisbon and in language school there, courses in the fall in Barcelona, and then I moved back to Lisbon. I was going to work at the embassy again, but I ended up getting a job working for the Sustainable Energy for All Summit. And that's kind of how I got connected with my boss, Todd, who you'll talk to in a minute, and linked up with the renewable energy scene and kind of just fell in love with it. I always knew I wanted to be in a position where I could make an impact. I don't want to work just to work. I want to be working to help other people. So working in this sector, it's so nice to know that the work you do at your desk here in Charlotte, North Carolina, can impact people 6,700 miles away in the Congo where we work. So we've been able to go into many of these villages and actually see our impact, and people have been able to save money because our solution costs them $15 a month versus the $30 or $35 they traditionally spend on materials like kerosene and candles and whatnot. So just those stories, those hands-on experiences have been critical to sort of keeping me going. So we offer a wide range of solutions, but one of the ones that we implemented first is the Firefly solar home system. It's a box about the size of a cable box. It has 5 light ports, 2 USB ports, and a port for you can plug in anything like you would in a cigarette lighter in your car. So we have customers who use attachments like 19-inch flat screen TVs or radios or fans, and each light is controllable on its own. You now can charge your cell phone in your home, which it's an expensive thing there to pay someone to charge your phone for you. So it's really having an impact like day to day in people's lives. And yeah, we're in the country where an average teacher makes about $100 a month, the soldier makes about $80 a month. Our solution costs $15 a month until it's paid off after about 2.5 years. And then they're paying just $3 a month to manage the warranty, any replacement parts that they may need. And they've freed up now that $30 or $35 to be able to invest in education or books or just anything like leisure activities, right? So it's really nice to be able to be a part of a company that is invested in changing the lives of people across the globe. And we have traveled from Kinshasa, the capital of Democratic Republic Congo, to many villages in the bush, as they say. So we are driving these roads, and you'll see people on the side of the road with this kind of Santa's sack, massive, taller than me even, and it's charcoal, because they're cutting down the trees near them, they're burning it up, and they're making charcoal, they're making materials, and it's devastating to see them. It's subsistence living. There's no other way around it, really. So when we're able to introduce a solution like that, we're keep your trees. Like you don't have to actually deteriorate the land around you. So yeah, and it impacts health in the home. You're not burning materials in your house anymore. So yeah, we've seen it up front. I mean, I'd love to see more renewable projects. I know so many are held up because of permitting issues. Look forward to those. I know it's a contentious topic, but there's just so many issues tying into the existing grid. I mean, I think the more things that we can do that are not necessarily grid tied or can power businesses and homes and what have you on site, I think those are going to make a huge difference. And just even from like a cybersecurity perspective, not relying on the grid as much. We've seen many countries in Eastern Europe get hacked and have their grids taken offline by bad actors. So I think the less we can depend on the grid and more we can depend on sort of literally home-produced solutions, the better off we'll be, the safer we'll be. It's really the future. Like, we don't have a choice. It's do or die. I have a lot of friends who are questioning whether they want to have kids or not. Do we want to bring kids into a world that's like dirty and polluted? And for many, the answer is no. So it's go time. We gotta catch up and just really make sure that we're securing a safe future for those after us. They're so passionate. Like, they care so much. I really think, I say passionate, but what I mean is curious. I think if you chase your curiosity rather than your passion, you will never burn out. Like, your passion can fade, but if you're chasing something that's constantly interesting to you, like your curiosity, you're gonna stay engaged. You're gonna stay involved in the world around you, and you're gonna be there to be able to impact your community and help those around you. I'm the details girl of the team, and I came on mostly as like a writer, because I don't know if you've worked with engineers before. They're not, they're numbers people. I'm not a numbers person. I got your words down. So I do a lot of the very nitty gritty, like project coordination and management. I'm the one reading the details on everything and making sure that everything is squared up and buttoned up and ready to submit. I write grants, probably 4 or 5 a year, working on, I've already written 4 this year so far with the team. So I'm hoping to maybe get to a dozen by the end of the year, which will be really exciting. But again, there's no typical day. I was coming in 9 to 5 before the pandemic, but my job is already remote because it's in Africa. So we were kind of able to shift relatively seamlessly to working from home. And sometimes you have early mornings because they're 5 or 6 hours ahead, and it's a very dynamic position, and we're also, AEG is a team of 5 here in the United States. So you kind of have to be a jack of all trades. Also, master of all, not master of none, master of all. And just kind of be ready for what's coming next. I mean, I had no idea about wind turbine blade shredding a few weeks ago, but submitted a grant about it a few weeks. So just kind of be ready to roll with it and stay curious. I mean, I think one of the most important things you can do is be like a messenger for the interesting research, the interesting technology that's being developed. Is if you can communicate something that seems so complicated and may turn off a bunch of people because of its complexity, if you can simplify that for them and make it like, hey, that makes a lot of sense. Like, I can see myself working on that. I had no idea about engineering or electricity or, I just knew about renewables as a whole when I started in this position. And you learn as you go. Like, you just bring your skill set, bring your strong skill set to the position and run with it. Like, I don't know if my team anticipated having a writer on staff, but here we are. So I feel like I've been a good asset to the team and been able to sort of sharpen up everything just with the skill set I brought to the table. They can be hard to come by, and the skill set that you learn in a hands-on position like a summer internship is really priceless, and a lot of people can't. It's really nice when these internships can be paid, because a lot of people can't afford to take the time off. I mean, I worked in restaurants every summer through high school and after high school and through college. I would have loved to find an internship, but it can be really expensive to go to Raleigh or come to Charlotte or go to DC. And just the more, I think people are really understanding that paying interns and providing them hands-on positions is very valuable. And they're just creating the pipeline of future hirees and, increasing the value of the industry as a whole. Oh, absolutely. So just a week and a half ago, we were in the Congo, and we went to a classroom with 80 female engineering students at the university. And we're just there to like pump them up and get them excited, because, I mean, it's kind of even in other parts of the country, they can't believe that women can be engineering students. But they were ready to go. They were like, we're ready to work now. Like, what do you want? Do you want us in biofuels? Do you want us in this? Do you want us in that? And like, it's so important to have students young and interested and involved, because they're creating the solutions that they want to live with, right? Like, be the change you want to see in the world, like study the thing you want to create. Yeah, it's really wonderful to be able to sort of implement the solutions and be creative and come up with the things that you want to bring to market, bring to a workplace, bring to fruition.